Hey everyone, welcome to Unearth with Shelly Hughes. This is Shelly Hughes. In this podcast, we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of business and entrepreneurship. I like to discuss the wins, the losses, the mistakes made, and really the celebrations of what it takes to grow a passionate, profitable brand. Today, we are talking about personal branding. In the last episode, I talked about a lot of my predictions for 2025 in the marketing space and having the founder, CEO, kind of the visionary of a business, um, building out their own personal brand is something that I'm seeing is happening a lot, in the marketing realm. And I think a lot of it comes down to, another prediction that I had about AI is that things are becoming so depersonalized, and slowly but surely it has been on social, but especially now where there's going to be a lot of hyper realistic visual AI content being pushed out through film, through social media, and everything else, commercials. Um, there's this desire and need for more humanized content. And so that's what I'm seeing in 2025, just this rise of personal brands. So I want to kind of talk about personal brands, really what it is, how can you create one, why should you create one, maybe some of the fears that people have, and really what the benefit of having a personal brand is for not just you and any endeavor you want to do in the future, but your business as well. So let's talk about what is a brand. And I have some notes here, so please don't mind me as I'm looking off camera a couple times because I want to make sure I hit everything. So Nolia Roots and what I have, you know, built with my team is a marketing agency that really focuses on branding and building out a really strong brand. Our job is to turn a business into a brand. And that's not just through a logo. It's not just through a color palette. Cause I think that's what a lot of people think is, oh, I want to rebrand. I need a new logo. I need a new color palette. I need a new typeface. A brand is truly who you are, what you do, and what you stand for in a business sense. And it relates directly to a personal brand as well. Um, the marketing funnel, the logo, the color palette, all that kind of stuff, those are the visual elements that help translate, that help support those more emotional, personality based elements of your brand. And when we dive into a client's business's brand, we first have to build out that brand strategy. So we talk about your brand DNA, which I'm going to discuss more, and how you can define that for yourself and your personal brand. And we really understand, okay, what is the personality behind your brand? If your brand was going to a party, what kind of party would it go to? Would it be going to an evening soiree with beautiful coupe glasses and cocktails and dim lighting and black tie wear? Would it be a birthday party? One of our clients, when she was talking about, the kind of party that her business would be going to, she said it was going to be a 5-year-old's birthday party. And I asked her, I'm like, what do you smell? What do you see? What do you feel? What do you experience? Who do you talk to? She said it's going to smell like frosting. It's going to be have lots of bright colors. It's going to so she you can feel the grass beneath your feet because it's a beautiful warm summer day. And so we asked that question to really get into the mind of, you know, because I feel like a business owner or a founder or CEO or a marketing director, they are so close to their business, it's hard for them to kind of think bigger picture and kind of step away to really define what's in their brain. So for us to help them define it, we ask questions like that. So you always have to think, for a business, the brand is the personality, it's not the palette. That's the exact same thing for building out a personal brand. Um, I really feel like a personal brand is the digital version of your reputation. And I believe wholeheartedly that reputation precedes revenue. If people don't know about you and they don't have a positive outlook on who you do and what you are and who you stand for, how are they supposed to buy from you? So, and there's a saying that your reputation, precedes you. And I think that's absolutely right in personal branding as well. People already have an opinion about you, whether it's positive or negative, and that can follow you through your entire life, your entire career. And so it's this thing of not just building a reputation, but building a reputation that is a positive one that people feel like they can really trust and they can go to for certain types of information. And I think to what reputation is, it's what are the results that you give, right? What is the single problem that you solve? And then multiply that by reach, and that's reputation. So it's this kind of broader idea of, if you were to sit in a really intimate one on one coffee chat with someone, it's okay, maybe I'm. Maybe I'm helping a client solve a problem. Maybe we're talking out a challenge based on my experiences. What is that one problem? And then you have to multiply that by reach, and that is your broader reputation. So, and really what you want to do and what your goal is to develop messaging that really connects your audience to whatever that personality is. And it's and again, I kind of challenge you, when you're thinking about your personal brand, it's also connecting to that emotional state, right? um, if I'm talking to someone, if I'm putting out a post and I'm discussing a topic, how do I want that person to feel? Some people, they want you to feel like you're their BFF and you're chatting on the couch with them. Other people might feel like it's kind of like a lecture hall, and they are listening to a really esteemed professor, and really intently learning and wanting to learn. And so I recommend, when you're thinking about your personal brand, how do you want the other person to feel? For me, I always feel like my personal brand is a 31st birthday party. It's probably out in the city. At a beautiful restaurant. Everyone is dressed up. There's a lot of commotion around, right? We're having beautiful, luxurious cocktails. But where my personal brand comes in is I'm talking one on one with the person next to me and really listening to what they have to say, and they feel really heard, and we're talking through just challenges, whether it's personal or global or political, whatever it is. And the person next to me, we're in this beautiful setting, we're at this 31st birthday party, we're around young and energetic people, but it's this moment of intimacy, between me and one other person, that I think is where my true personality really shines. So when you're thinking about your personal brand, think about what that location is, right? Maybe it's a birthday party, maybe it's something else. But how do you want someone to feel when they are engaging with your personal brand? And so why should you do this, right? People buy from brands, they don't buy from businesses. And what people really want to do is especially when it comes going back to my 2025 predictions, people want to be joining tribes. And if you join tribes, you not just get loyal customers that are going to buy from you over and over and over again, they're going to be the ones that shout your names from the rooftops. They're going to be your evangelists. Um, Building a personal brand helps you connect with new clients, investors, collaborators, right? And, you know, one really interesting thing about building this personal brand for yourself, whether you're the CEO or maybe, and this is what a lot of people think about when they think about personal brands is, they're just starting, it's a startup, and they're building a personal brand to create a funnel and launch a course and all these different things. And yes, that is definitely part of it, and that's a very trendy way to think about personal brand. But how I think about a personal brand is, let's say you don't even have to own a business. Let's say you're a marketing director at this amazing company. You're doing really cool things for this company, and you have a personal brand on the side, right? If you ever leave that company to either start your own business or go to another firm or whatever it is, your personal brand and your audience behind that is going to follow with you and support you where you go. So let's say you're a marketing director and you say, one day I want to start my own business. That you start building a personal brand, you talk about that one thing, you talk to that one audience about that one pain point. And no matter what you do in your life, whether you do quit that job and start a business, whether we open a course, you write a book, you open up a master class, whatever it is, no matter what business you start, that personal brand and the audience behind it is just going to follow you and cheer you on in every single spot of your journey. And so instead of a brand building a audience, it's you building an audience and you kind of having that investment in yourself that's going to carry you through the rest of your career. Some people truly want to do this. They have this calling, they have this vision. They say they're very outspoken people. They want to be the center of attention, which isn't a bad thing, by the way. They want to show their face on camera, but a lot of people don't, right? And I think building a personal brand, some think it's hokey, right? Others feel like, oh, I can't do this. No one wants to see what I have for breakfast in the morning. I'm boring. My life is boring. What am I really doing? Right. And I think putting yourself out there is very vulnerable and really scary. But I think when you think that way, you are massively underestimating the value of your secret sauce, the value of your experiences. Um, you are a one of a kind story. Your story is unique. And I think that's why there is truly no competition when it comes to personal branding because no one has your exact story. Ideas really are everything. Um, and one thing I challenge a lot of my clients who are building out some of these personal brands in a line with their business, what I kind of encourage them to realize is that if you haven't really sat down and really thought about introspectively who you are, what you do, why you feel the ways that you feel, you might be putting a lot of these ideas out into the world, but to be honest, they're probably a little bit mediocre. It really does take years to truly like dive deep into these ideas and make them truly unique, and we can talk about that in a second. um, but another thing that a lot of clients tell me is, or eventually they open up, or even friends when they talk to me about this, is they say, I'm not successful enough yet to start a personal brand. I haven't won all the awards. I haven't gone through, the ringer enough. I don't have enough money, right? I don't have enough revenue to build this personal brand. Why should people listen to me? And I think when I hear that, I immediately think, when people say, I don't have an audience, why should they listen to me? And I say, you are perfectly positioned to help the people that were in your shoes you a year ago. You're perfectly positioned to solve the problems that you had a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. The person that you once were. And here's the thing, it's not about you in this personal brand. And I think that's a thing that is that people think is it's very ego driven. Ego driven personal brands do not succeed. And that's why my team, they had to push and push and push me to even start this podcast because I didn't feel like I had really good ideas for my individual clients, but did it really talk to the bigger picture of maybe there are a lot of other people that are going through the same challenges that our clients are going through, and that I went through starting this business and growing a team. um, And it's funny, I went to the Philadelphia Business Journal's Most Admired CEOs award ceremony last week, or I guess this would have been last month when this comes out. And they awarded someone as, for their Lifetime Achievement Award. And it's a woman that worked in banking and did a lot of amazing things in her life. And I was really thinking about, like, the first thing I said, I was like, oh, I want to win a Lifetime Achievement Award one day. Like, that didn't even really, come into my mind because I'm so in the moment of what I'm doing today and how I'm helping my team today and how I'm helping my clients today. And when I was thinking about this podcast episode, I was really thinking, she didn't start thinking about her reputation or her personal brand after she won her Lifetime Achievement Award, after she got to that, whatever her, or maybe it's even my definition of success, right? people want to be along in the journey. I think there are different parts of your journey, and you know, just like I mentioned in my 2025 predictions of, a lot of things in content are developing series, a series based approach to your content. People want to, the good, the bad, and the ugly, they want to be engaged in your story and your journey. And so don't think that you have to wait to start a personal brand until you reach success, because by the time you reach success, there's there's going to be another definition of success after that. I think fear is a big thing that comes up in someone feeling like they're not ready to develop a personal brand. And I feel like that's a very self-centered way to think about it. They might think, oh, how do I look in front of the camera? I really have nothing to say. Even I put out a poll, probably a few months ago, maybe it was even last year, because as I was thinking about, okay, my team is telling me I have to do this. I know I have to do this. I have great ideas. People have to hear them. But do I really have to show up and dress up and put makeup on every single time that I get in front of the camera? And so I put a poll out to all my followers and I said, hey, what kind of person are you expecting to see on podcasts and on social media? Are you expecting to see someone that's really aspirational, that has their makeup done every day, that has their hair done every day, that really just shows up and looks the part? Or are you looking for someone who is just very relatable? Maybe they're wearing their t-shirt. Maybe they have their kids in their hands, right? And honestly, I thought that the poll results were going to lean toward, I want to see someone put together kind of the best version of themselves, but that wasn't the case. When I saw the results of that poll, it was like 70, maybe 80% of the people said that I want to see the raw you. I want to see you with no makeup. I want to see you in your dirty t-shirt with probably baby spit up on you. Um, and I thought that kind of made me think, okay, maybe I can do this, because that is me the majority of the time. As is many people, I know some people who they dress up every single day. It's the saying where you dress for the job you want or the position that you want. And there's a lot of merit to that too, but I don't want your fear. Fear is very self-centered when it comes to personal branding, and I think there is no fear when your mission behind who you're serving and why you're serving them becomes very clear. I kind of want to stop there, because I think there is a really good part two to this, that I'll put out next week. Um, and I really want to go into how to build out a personal brand, what you should focus on, and um, really how, who to talk to figure out what your secret sauce is and what your unique point of view is in developing those ideas. So I'm going to make that a part two, but I appreciate your time today. Was a little quick one today. If you liked this episode, please rate and review. Leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear what you have to say, what you agree with, what you disagree with. And I appreciate your time.